Hello, Jen Gilchrist here, your soul alignment and success mentor. And I'm super excited to be back with another Wednesday Facebook Live training here in the Soul Inspired Leaders Collective Facebook group. I'm planning this on being a weekly thing where I take topics that have been coming to my mind or questions that you guys have, things that I think would be valuable for you here in the Facebook group to add value for everyone. And this week, the topic is all about what are energy cords, how does energy enmeshment affect you and how can you release them? And I was getting this idea based on some readings I had done earlier in the week on Monday to also do a cord clearing meditation with Archangel Michael and a chakra balancing as well. And then I found out today, or I realized today, that it makes perfect sense and is perfect timing because tomorrow is a full moon, which is a wonderful time to release. So whether you're live or on the replay, say hello. And whether, it's actually the full moon when you're hearing this replay or not, this is still very valuable information and definitely something that you can use at any time. So let's go ahead and dive into the topics. One more thing I do want to mention is this is sort of on the heels of last week's. I've been doing a weekly Facebook Live series called Soulful Snippets on my Facebook business page. And we talked about being highly sensitive and empathic and how that affects, what that means, what that looks like, how it's your gift. And so this is sort of a perfect follow-up training for what came up last week. So if you haven't checked that out, you can check out my Facebook business page, Jen Gilchrist, and follow me there. And you will also get some other just channeled wisdom that wants to come through. So this is sort of on the heels of that. So you might want to go check that out if you haven't already. So say hello as you're hopping on. Always fun to see who's here. Let's just jump into the topic at hand. So what are energy cords? Some of you may already know, but I think I'll just give kind of a brief understanding of how I see them at least. Energetic cords, it's an energetic attachment, right? If you're visual, if you're clairvoyant, you might actually see a line of energy connecting to another person if you're looking at them with your clairvoyance, right? But as an empath or as a highly sensitive person, you might feel them as well. It might feel like back pain. They're essentially energetic. It's like a link between you and the other person, right? It can actually be to things, to objects, and to social media as well. So I'll kind of come full circle with all of that. But essentially between people, which is most of the time where people will recognize these cords and how they will affect you most deeply, it's a line of energy that connects you and the other person. And in that energy, it allows an energy exchange to happen, right? And this is more typically fear-based. It's usually, in general, we're all one, we're all connected, we're all one energy. But in this physical body and this human experience, we are having an individuated soul experience. As a soul, we have an individual soul's expression of the divine, and we have a physical body. And so within that, when we start mixing energy directly, like taking on other people's emotions, for instance, through this energy cord, you'll start to feel the energy and take on often and run it as your own, their emotions, their feelings, what's going on for them. And so that is something that you'll probably recognize as a sensitive person. When you go in a room, you might feel or around a certain person, you might feel what they're feeling. And sometimes that can mean that there's actually an energetic attachment or an enmeshment happening. That will continue to affect you, right? How it can feel physically is you might feel pain in your body. You might feel more tired or exhausted. How else? You might have bad communication between people. Often with our family or people who are close with us, when we are in close communication with, or really energetically enmeshed with somebody, sometimes there is hard to understand each other clearly. Irritability or arguments can start. That kind of thing can happen for sure. You might mistake their feelings for yours, right? You might feel confused. You might not have a lot of clarity. So these are just some of the ways that energetic cords can be a hindrance to you. Again, they're fear-based cords. Love is real, right? Love doesn't need cords. Our connection as a oneness, as to one another in a loving sense, isn't a negative drain. So we're talking about fear-based cords that are actually kind of drawing energy away from you, right? So that being said, I'm going to put a disclaimer too, is that no matter what happens, if you'll hear sometimes people in the spiritual community say energy vampires, or, that person's just sucking energy from me or whatever. And, on that level, it's sort of true in a sense. Some people don't know how to, they do seek people to get their energy from. They don't have, they aren't connecting with their source, or they're not understanding their own unique power within that. And so they are sort of, some people tend to latch on to other people more easily. But the bottom line is, it's all our responsibility. Nobody can come into our space or energetically connect in unless we allow it. Most of the time this happens when we're unconscious to it, right? This is actually what led me to my spiritual awakening, I think, was being energetically overwhelmed, which is what we talked about last week. And so this is why I'm bringing it to your awareness. So once you become aware of it, these cords are going to happen. They're just going to happen. They're going to happen with people with clients, with family, with strangers in a bank. You never know, right? It's just going to be part of it. That's where the energetic maintenance and having the heightened, beginning to have awareness of these things is going to be super valuable. And then doing the daily, routine of the energetic cleansing, I find is essential really to really thrive and to not be inundated with taking on the energy around you and having it be a detriment to you. So let me know if you can relate to this. Let me know if you know what energy cords are already, if this is helping, or if you've experienced, the feeling of having cords, but maybe not being able to get that energetic enmeshment released. I would love to hear. Sometimes I don't see comments, so I'll check them at the end if I don't see your comment now, but let me know what you feel about that. But the beauty in this is that when we do become aware, right, of the energetic accord or attachment that we have with somebody else, the reason why it's coming in is you want to, we're going to do a cord clearing. I'll walk you through how you can do that. But you always want to look at, your part and why you allowed that to be there in the first place. Sometimes it will be just a matching picture where, we feel the same thing that they're feeling, or we feel sorry for them, or we don't want to feel them in pain. And so therefore we take it on for them in that moment so that we can feel comfortable in their presence. There's many unconscious ways that we do kind of more like an enabling type of healing, not a true healing, but an enabling type of a healing where we end up in these energy attachments with people. Oftentimes, in relationships, I spoke of this where, the cords will happen kind of the second chakra between intimate relationships often. And then it can be confusing as to what's your emotions or feelings or the other person's. Another place where a lot of times they connect is up here in the back and all of the back, even upper, lower back, sometimes can cause pain. I'll feel them enter there as well. And so just becoming aware of where you're feeling these drains, maybe what people might be draining you as well, and then spending some time in meditation with, contemplating, well, I wonder why is this here? First we can release it to get the space from it, but then it's like going deeper and healing the reason as to why you decided to let that in the first place, right? And the more that we do that deeper work, it's really this opportunity for healing and transformation, then the less that those energy attachments will be able to come in and affect us in a negative way anymore. Ideally, we would be in a space of being grounded. When you're in a space of being super aligned, super grounded, have energetic mastery over your space, you've been doing your meditation regularly, however it is that you maintain yourself, and you're grounded, you're connected to the earth, and you're embodying your soul self, and you're at a very high vibration, energy doesn't stick to you, right? The energy doesn't really stay into you. It's when we start to lose our energetic space that we start to become a little bit more susceptible to being inundated with taking in and on other people's energy. So those are just some things that I just kind of wanted to throw out there to see it as a whole. So ideally, the more that we grow on this path spiritually, become more aware spiritually, we can be aware of being around people that might be wanting to connect in with us energetically, but we can choose to have a stronger boundary and not take it in that way. And in fact, this is when we actually be able to allow true healing to happen for the other person. You see, when we engage in the energy exchange in those cords, it's an enabling effect, right? I had looked at this a lot in readings when I do other people's readings, as well as my own readings and healings. And some of the reasons why we're taking it on is, for one, when we're empathic and we're feeling somebody in pain, of course, your heart doesn't want them to be in pain. You're kind of like, oh, they're suffering, you have compassion, then you kind of drop, and then you see them as a little bit of a victim, and you kind of match that energy. Now, somewhere within you, you have a matching to that feeling, or you wouldn't have kind of come out of that space of seeing them as divine beings who can handle themselves, right? In that moment, you kind of saw them and matched them as being somebody who might be a victim to their circumstances. This is just one scenario to explain. But when you're actually rooted and grounded in a space and seeing the divinity, the God within the other person, you give them the opportunity to rise and see themselves that way as well. And it's when they're in that space that they can actually connect with their true source of energy and not look to other people for that source of energy, and not feel the need to like be seeking outwardly for attention or for energy for that matter, right? And so when we can have the strength to hold our space and hold our light, that allows other people to come up to it. Oftentimes what happens is that dissonance, that vibrational dissonance, when we're hanging around situations or people or circumstances that are vibrating at a lower vibration, right? Maybe more pain, more suffering, or anger, or judgment, or whatever the lower energy of fear that's happening is. It's hard. Sometimes it can feel uncomfortable to have that dissonance, like you won't be in their space. And so unconsciously, we start to drop our energy vibrational frequency so that we can stay with them, especially if it's family or friends or clients. Like we don't always realize that we are choosing to dim down and kind of shrink ourselves to be a vibrational match. And in that case, things go south. We start to become porous energetically. We start to forget and see them as needing help and not wanting to be in the energy of feeling their pain. And so we heal it for them in that moment, and we walk away with it. And then later we have back pain. We're numbing through food or alcohol. We're irritated, we're exhausted, or whatever. And really, we're just energetically wiped out, right? And so these are just some ways that I've experienced it and seen it for myself and others. So I wonder, can I give you a good sense of it? Because the more awareness that you have that kind of energetic courting and exchange is happening in an unhealthy way, then you can start to take action to change it, right? And then we can accept responsibility and be like, oh, okay, you know what? I see where I've kind of lost my energetic space a little bit here. I'm going to reclaim that now. And that's a beautiful space to be. And it gives you the time and opportunity to now strengthen yourself even more and do some inner healing work. And it doesn't have to take long. It just takes the awareness. But I always suggest going deeper into, well, why did that exchange happen in the first place, so that you can see within yourself where you need to heal so that you can be stronger and hold that high vibration in light of other people who might not be being able to hold that space for themselves in that moment. That's where true healing can occur for everybody, right? So let me know if that makes sense. I'm not saying any comments. Sometimes Facebook does that. But anyways, we'll keep moving on. I'll check them later. So that is how that works. So if you do find yourself like around somebody that you notice that, or maybe it's a family member or a partner or a client or whatever, taking the time to do the energetic cleanup is always very valuable, and I think kind of essential, really. When I'm done with a Facebook Live or done doing a group healing or a program or even a one-on-one client, I like to just take a few moments, just imagine that person, sending them their energy back and me reclaiming my own. That's just one quick exercise that you can do. It's kind of like me creating a conscious separation. It's making yourself start to become aware of consciously releasing their energy and taking back your own. And so that's just a quick ritual that you can do at the end of each session, anytime you think about it, at the end of any time where maybe you've been in a crowded mall and it's been exhausting, right? It could be any time that you're starting to feel like, oh, I feel energetically inundated. Perhaps that's a moment to just, with your mind, send everybody their love and their energy back, and then you kind of call your energy back to yourself. That's the beginning of it. And then I think I'm going to actually just walk you through a guided cord cutting meditation. I love one way you can do this with yourself. You don't need to necessarily work with the angels, but I find sometimes when we're energetically enmeshed and kind of not in our power and our highest power in that moment, I love working with the angels because they make it very easy and simple. They help hold space for you and for everybody, and you can just have them work with you and help you to become aware of, well, why is this? Why am I allowing this in? Why am I agreeing to give up my energy like this in a way that's not helpful to anybody. And so they can help you kind of do that deeper work, and also help the other person connect with their own source of power if they so choose to. We have free will of choice, so we can always offer that for people, but they get to choose it for themselves. Thanks for the hearts, guys. So, and then I found out, it was interesting because I've been feeling drawn to do the chakra clearing and a cord cutting with Archangel Michael in today's training that I had planned, and then I've realized tomorrow's a full moon. So you can think back to, notice, since you set your intention, if you work with the moon cycles, we'll kind of just incorporate the fact that the full moon energy's already in the air. It's going to technically be tomorrow, but both sides, a couple of days on both sides of the full moon is a powerful time to release. And so I'm going to have you guys close your eyes and follow this guided meditation with me. But if you are following the moon cycles and setting your intentions around the new moon, or just setting your intentions in general and becoming aware of, how are you doing? This is like the midway point of that creation process. And so right now we get a look at, what things have been coming up for you that you're ready to actually release and let go of. And so there'll be an opportunity that we can do right now, as I'm kind of teaching you how to do this for yourself. We'll actually be doing it live. I find that experience is a really powerful way for you to practice, right? Practice the tools. So let's go ahead and close your eyes, and let's just going to guide us through. I don't know how long it will be. I just kind of go with what feels right, but maybe 5-10 minutes at the most. So go ahead and close your eyes. And let's just take another couple nice deep breaths. Breathe deep breath in and exhale. Another nice deep breath in and exhale. Now for this style of meditation, if you can, I think it's great if you can close your eyes, have your feet flat on the ground. That's always helpful. Just to really, because the idea is to really be present in your body for this, if you can. And so just kind of recognize, allow yourself to be grounded right at the base of your spine. You can just, with your intention, be grounded, your body and your energetic body into the center of the earth. And just allow that grounding cord and the earth's gravity to really be like a release. Have it just naturally and effortlessly pull out of your body, your aura, your energy, anything that you're ready to let go of, anything that's not serving you, other people, to-do lists. Beautiful. I'm going to call in Archangel Michael. So just simply with your intention, Archangel Michael has sort of a deep blue. Some people see it more purple blue, indigo blue energy. If you're visual, or you can practice or imagine seeing that we're encompassed in our little virtual golden circle of light with all of us here. Again, live or replay, it all works just the same, holding space for everyone. We're going to have Archangel Michael come in and really support each and every person. The cool thing about angels is they can be having an individual experience with everybody here and actually on the planet, while also, they're not limited by time and space. So I'm going to give a general guided meditation to clear the cords and balance the chakras. But then you can also have your own conversation as you go along and really ask for support as you need it. And that's more specific to you as we go along as well. So Archangel Michael is here. And we're going to ask him to just work with each and every one of you, everybody listening to this, to just release first any cords to other people that are no longer, or that are not serving them, that are not in service, right? Fear-based cords. Love can never be severed. It just is. That's the truth of who we are. And you might notice, just take some nice deep breaths as you just kind of allow Archangel Michael to work with you on releasing any of the energetic cords that you have with any other person. You might notice or have a thought of a person, or you might see a visual face of somebody maybe your mom or your child, right, or a client. And what we're doing is we're just sending them their energy back, right? They work more best and more functionally with their energy in their space, just like we do with ours in our space. So with love, we're just allowing their energy to be released back. And it's funny too, whenever I do cord cuttings, you might notice like sometimes when I'm working energy specific, like for like my mom will say, or for somebody, you might notice that they call you or they text you or they're thinking of you. Sometimes they'll actually reach out when they'll on some level be aware of that, that disconnection happening, especially if this is something you don't do regularly. So don't be surprised if they get irritated or if they call or if they're just saying hello. It's almost like, oh, they want back. They're used to being close to you. Let's ask Archangel Michael to help you have some awareness on that deeper root, like all the way at the root of this cord. Where is this cord attaching? Are you feeling it in your neck? Are you feeling it in a chakra, in a place of your body, your lower back? Where are you noticing? See if you can just become aware of, and you may or may not, it's all relevant and working perfectly. I'm just trying to help you really awaken your intuition and really become your own psychic, your own healer, right? That's one of my gifts and things I love to help people with, is just to awaken to those gifts that we all have. And so you start by just practicing by asking the question, why is this here in the beginning? Why did I allow this into my space? Why am I energetically giving my energy away to somebody else or managing theirs for them? Right? You can just ask that question. And whether you get the answer now or not is not a problem, but with your permission, Archangel Michael can help you to really heal that, deeply heal that, whatever's going on for you, whatever fear or wound or agreement that's happening that is no longer really serving in the highest good of anybody. And just keep breathing and just notice that the answers will come to you. What you need to know will come into your conscious awareness when you're ready. If you didn't get anything specific now, that's perfectly fine. Just feel the lightness that's coming in as you start to really release other people's energy, letting go of that old the old energy, the old agreements. Sometimes it comes down to like we think we have to give up of ourselves in order to have a relationship with someone, right? We make all kinds of silly, unconscious reasons why we think we have to kind of give up of ourselves on some level in order to be in a relationship with others. So oftentimes it's healing that deep wound of feeling afraid to be alone or just owning your self-worth. And so it's very cool that when you take the time, even for a few minutes, to work on these things, you're really opening up your own ability to love yourself without sacrifice, right? I'm going to have Archangel Michael move through everybody's chakras also. So while we're here, since we're in a new moon or a full moon tomorrow, you can just also ask if there's anything specific you're working on. Is there any pattern of energy that you, or mindset or fear or any situation that you want to have support with or let go of? You can ask Archangel Michael to help you with that now. And again, continuing to release any cords from any of the chakras or the body. And it's as simple as that, just having your awareness to ask, send them their energy back with love, and to call your own energy back. Again, you can do this also with social media, with anything that you kind of have an addiction to, with food or anything like that. Sometimes there's energetic cordings going out in different ways. And so it's always good to just release any of those cords to anything that's not serving. But most often I find it's people. Have Archangel Michael really work with you on the first chakra. That has a lot to do with our survival, our material, manifestation of things. A lot of our business, like anything in the 3D world, is really being birthed down in this first chakra area. Has a lot to do with that. Our money situations down in this area. Really get that first chakra spinning. Moving up to that second chakra, which is just below your belly button. Your sacral chakra is, there's many other things in what I'm saying, but I feel like releasing the emotions of others right now is coming up. This is a seat of your creativity. Your sexual energy. I find really this is a place where a lot of emotions can get stored, of ours and others. So just releasing any past shame. I'm feeling like the energy of shame and guilt and grief is really, really being released as a whole. Fear. Take a nice deep breath. Moving up to the third chakra, which is right below your sternum. Now, sometimes there's cords here. Power struggle can happen here. So just releasing any of the need to, like if you're one who likes to be in control or feels a power struggle or competition, jealousy sometimes can be here. So just releasing and healing any of the places of your third chakra that's out of balance, and releasing any cords to others or even to your projects. This is sometimes where we're starting to get into the effort of like doing and pushing and forcing, and the imbalanced masculine can sometimes show up in an overactive third chakra. Beautiful. Moving up to the fourth chakra, right here at your heart. This is where I really, sometimes there's a lot to do with self-worth, your love for yourself, love for others. Also releasing, what I'm noticing right now is a lot of family agreements with other people. This is where those unconscious agreements happen, where we kind of trade ourselves for love, in a sense. Like we kind of trade off on something that maybe we don't actually want to do in order to not be alone, or to have the person stay, or to not upset them, have people angry. I think a lot of times empaths and sensitives, because we are so compassionate and also so aware of people's feelings, sometimes we create unhealthy healing agreements, in a sense where we are taking on energy for them in exchange for being in each other's lives, in a sense, right? That it's again, this is all the codependent aspects. You can always still love and help and support each other, but not in a codependent type of a way. So just releasing any energy of codependence. It's like releasing the energy of sacrifice. You have to work hard to get paid, all that. You have to earn love. You're just seeing lots of those old beliefs, those untrue patterns that are running for all of us, right? Moving up to the fifth chakra, which is your ability to speak your truth, hear your inner wisdom. There's so much energy related to this fifth chakra space, including your ability to hear spirit, your telepathic channels, your whole communication space with others, with yourself. So clearing out any cords there, and any fear, like anywhere where I feel like there's being released a lot of like judgment, fear of judgment, speaking your truth. So releasing any fear of other people's judgment, or maybe anywhere where you're bullied or felt afraid to speak up, whether that's from if you had a father. I feel like there's some energy of like kind of abusive male energy that's being released, in terms of like where you maybe felt afraid, whether it was a father or a relationship. So just releasing any energy of where you didn't feel safe to speak your truth, or you didn't want to rock the boat for fear of having people mad at you or judge you. And anything else that's coming up for you, I like to read the energy of the group as a whole. So some of you might relate more to some areas than others. But just know that you're getting exactly what you need individually as well as what I'm saying. Moving up to the 6th chakra, right at your third eye here. Allowing that to spin, really awakening the intuition. Let's ask for a clearing on really awakening that 6th chakra, ability to see, have your vision, create your intuitive insights. Clearing out any fear of what that looks like, fear of success, fear of failure, fear of dreaming and asking for what you truly desire. Really expanding your ability to have a clear vision, an even bigger vision. That's something I've been coming up a lot with lately, is like releasing the limits. You know, set your sights higher, dream big, let go of the how. Beautiful. Nice deep breath in, up to the crown chakra on the top of your head. That's your connection with your ability to know, right? It's a connection between your spirit and your body. It's important to really have clear communication between your spirit and your body so that you can be in communion together, working together. Sometimes as more spiritual intuitives, we tend to like it up a little bit out of the body, but this is important to bring that information into the body. So we're just going to do a clearing on that 7th chakra, your ability to see clearly, to have clarity, to know your true soul's desires. And really bring in that connection with your higher self so that you can embody all of your energy. And I want you to just consciously imagine calling all of your energy back from the future, from the past, from any projects, from any situation, relationships that might be coming up, and just call all of your energy right here. You imagine it pouring into the crown of your head, all the way into all of the areas you've just released. So you're just kind of pouring that golden vibration of your highest self into all aspects of your physical, spiritual, mental, emotional bodies, just filling up all the different layers. If you'd like to take a moment to just set your intention for the rest of the day, or for what you would like to continue releasing through this full moon phase, I invite you to set an intention now. I was ask Archangel Michael if you have any next steps. I'd like to get in the habit of, asking, what next step can I take right now to be in alignment with my highest path? That's a simple thing to practice with. And you may or may not get an answer now, but just trust that it will come to you. And if you did get an answer, then take action on it. Go ahead and thank Archangel Michael. Have him go away, and I'll go ahead and open your eyes. Awesome. All right. Yeah, I'm not seeing any comments today, so I'm just going to just say thank you guys for all being here. If you have any questions below, please do. Another thing, hold on, I have one more thing I want to share. So, so how was that for you? First of all, if you're live or on the replay, I'd love to know, what did you release? What was your experience with that? Did you have any ahas from this information today? I really felt like this has been coming up in different ways. It's been coming up in the readings a lot. And so I really just wanted to give you some insight on how you can do that. It's something that I suggest practicing regularly. Energetic maintenance, I'll talk about that a lot. So let me know how that was for you. I'm going to be doing a weekly training here in the group on Wednesdays at 12:30 Pacific time, and then also on my business page on Fridays at noon Pacific time. Is more of a soulful, it's kind of just a soulful channeling of what I see needs to happen. Today is more about questions I've been asked or things that have been coming up. So if you have any suggestions for topics, you can type them below, or often I'll put maybe once a week or so an Ask Jen post in the group so that you can really give me some ideas or topics or questions that you might have that I could answer for you. I would love to do that as well. And for those of you that like some support right now, I do have a couple of more openings, some special offers I created earlier in the week. I don't know if you've heard or not, where I was offering individual 30-minute aura readings, which is something I don't generally do. These are really amazing and powerful ways to shift the energy of something. It's like we look at each layer of the aura, what you're creating, what you're letting go of. We do some clearing work, give you some next steps, tangible steps to take. And it really just helps to shift wherever you're could be feeling stuck, and just transition into what it is you're wanting to create more of. And so those are really great, kind of just like a little tune-up, I would say, that I felt inspired to support people with, as well as a 6-week one-on-one mentoring program, Awake and Elevate, which is again a one-on-one, but just a lot more intensive work with me to help you if you really have a blind spot or some pattern that you're really wanting to shift, and help you get out of your own way and do some deep healing so you can really energetically shift your vibration very quickly to creating whatever it is you're working on. We can do any number of things. If either of those seem interesting to you, please feel free to reach out and I can give you more details. We can see where you're at, what it is you're looking for, and if this would be a good fit for you. I'd be happy to chat with you a little bit further about that as well. So I look forward to hopefully seeing you again here next week. I forgot to do the event until today, so I know it's a little small crowd on the live version, but just so you know, mark your calendars. It'll be a weekly thing, open to any feedback or input. And I will look forward to seeing you hopefully on Friday on my business page. You can like and follow Jen Gilchrist business page if you haven't already, and you can join us over there as well on Friday at noon. I'll have a new topic for you, but I usually wait till that day and just see what's in the stars, what wants to be shared, what divine guidance is there. So, all right, guys. Well, thanks so much for joining with me. I hope this was helpful, and I look forward to talking with you again soon. Bye.